All right. So, how many entrepreneurs do we have in the room? Raise your hand if you're an entrepreneur. Wow. Raise your hand if you've ever had a dream. Mm. We have all had dreams, haven't we? So, I want you to take a little trip with me. I want you to go back with me to the year 2002. That year, I made my first $1 million. I was running my business. Oh, thank you. I was running my business on fire with passion, with vision. I had the big office in downtown. My name was respected. My phone was always ringing. And you know, as an entrepreneur, you always want your phone ringing, right? Always. And I thought to myself, this is it. I've made it. I've made it. It can't get any better. I am living my dream. And then 5 years later, in 2007, I lost everything. And I'm not talking about just a little small setback. I lost everything. I lost my business. I lost my home. My daughter and I went on public assistance so that I could take care of her. And for 13 long, long months, we lived in one room in a basement. One room. We had one window. We had no privacy. We had no comforts. It was me, my 2-year-old daughter, and our dog. And every night, I would look at my daughter and I would smile at her like everything was okay. And then inside, my heart was just breaking and breaking and breaking. And I cried, I prayed more than I had ever prayed in my life. I prayed. And I worked on myself. I worked on myself. I worked on my faith. And I worked on that vision that just refused to die. It would not die. And during that time, that basement became my teacher. It stripped away all the excess. It stripped away all the noise. And it taught me what really mattered. It taught me that I needed to make the boldest move I had ever made, and that was to ask for help. I had to ask for help. And I didn't have to ask for help because I was weak. I had to ask for help because I finally made the decision that if I wanted to grow, I needed to grow beyond what I could do by myself. So I had poured into mentors and coaches and friends and clients, except this time I circled back and I said, can you help me? Can you pour into me during this time? And you know what? It changed everything. And I left that basement. I left that basement. And I started over. But I didn't start over with a lot of money. In fact, I didn't start over with any money. I started over with a new fortitude. And I started over with a new determination. And I started over with a stronger faith and a new community. Because community is everything. Community helps us build stronger. Community sees us when we're at our lowest point. Community is what we need to survive. We were not created to be alone. Community is what we need. So it was during that community and that time in my life where I stopped trying to prove who I was. I didn't need to prove myself to my community. I needed to stop trying to prove myself to me. And when that vulnerability showed up, people showed up. People came from everywhere to help me. People came to remind me of what I forgot about my vision, about myself, and about what I could do. Because if I could do it once, I could do it again. And that's what it's about in community. You know, it's not just about networking. We do a lot of networking, right? It's about being seen, allowing yourself to be seen by other people, the true you. It's about being reminded of your vision. That's real community. It's about those people who are there when you fall down and you have to pull yourself back up. It's about making sure my daughter would see me as the strong woman that I am. But when you are in that basement, you don't think about the strength that you have. You only think about what you're looking at. And today I have the opportunity to coach and train leaders who are like I was, who are overwhelmed, who are exhausted, who are ready to move forward, but they just don't know how to do it. They need that community. So people who are driven, people who have purpose, because the truth is, your next breakthrough isn't another tactic. It's in a connection. It's the person sitting right next to you. Asking for help stretched me. It made me see that I didn't have to do this alone. And let me tell you, as entrepreneurs, as leaders, we believe that we have to do it by ourselves. But we don't. We don't have to do it by ourselves. In fact, when those partnerships begin to form, it multiplies your impact. It multiplies the progress that you're wanting to make because you cannot do it by yourself. So when I think about those coaches who didn't just cheer me on, they helped me see inside the strategies that were inside me, because that's what coaching does, right? Coaching doesn't tell you what to do. It helps you see what's inside of you, and it makes you look at it from a different perspective. That's what coaching is all about. So here's the truth, folks. Entrepreneurship is not sexy. It is not sexy. What is it? It's not about strategy. It's not about success stories. It is about resilience. It is about resilience. It is about late nights. It is about closed doors in your face. It's about people telling you no after no after no after no, right? but you still show up. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. So when we think about entrepreneurship, the most dangerous thing we can think about is that we have to do it by ourselves. And you don't. You can have the best idea, you can have the best pitch deck, you can have good headshots, right? But if you don't have partnership and community, you are one hard season away from breaking. One hard season away from breaking. So community, they pray with you, right? They connect you. They check on you. They pick up the phone. They call you. They text you. They say, hey, how you doing? How's it going today? That's what real community does. That's what real community does. And that's why we're here today, developing community. So when you think about how people really see you and how you show up in the room, your community sees you even when you're not fancy. They see you when you're not shining. They see you when your knees are wobbly. They help hold you up when your knees are shaking. And through that community, I was able to rebuild my business. I was able to develop partnerships. I joined chambers. I became involved with nonprofit organizations. I sat on boards. I did all of those things to help rebuild my business because I knew that I could not do it by myself. And that's what happened. So when I partnered with people, I chose people who didn't just look like me. They didn't just think like me. They brought strengths and skills to the table that I didn't have. Because that's the only way we could multiply the impact that we both wanted to make was by partnerships. So when you think about your partners, whether it's the chamber, whether it's your next door neighbor, whether it's a person who brings to your table what you don't have, that's how you build real partnerships. So when you think about what it really takes to build relationships, I'm going to share with you 5 things that I learned in and out of that basement. Number 1, you have to be willing to be seen. You have to be willing to allow others to see the real you. I knew that I had to show up messy, uncertain, but I had to show up, and that it was okay for me to be the real Carla. I had to learn to lean in to generosity. I had to give of my time, of my skills, because the one thing that that basement did not take from me was my skill set. It didn't take my mind. It tried, let me tell you, it tried. It did not take my skills. It didn't take my knowledge. And I was able to give that instead of asking, I was giving. So I learned to lean in to generosity. So Maya Angelou said, people remember how you made them feel. You know what else people remember? People remember when you share your connections, when you make the introduction. People remember when you share your time with nothing expected in return. So, 2, you're going to give and give generously. Give of your time. Number three, I learned that the follow-up was not on them. The follow-up was on me. The follow-up was on me. Relationships don't grow in the hello or good morning. They grow in the after. They grow in the follow-up. They grow in the follow-through. So I encourage you to send the message, make the phone call, and check on them even when there's nothing in it for you. Get out of your own way. And that's what I had to learn, to get out of my own way. I had to learn to be vulnerable. I had to learn that people don't connect with the highlight reel that they see. That's 90 seconds of your life. What they connect with is your humanity. They connect with your humanity. So yes, I want you to share your wins, absolutely, but also share your lessons. Share your pivots. Share your pain. Share the process that you have to go through, because real people can relate to that. So when they see you on the stage, they don't know where you've come from unless you're authentically you. I also learned to listen to understand, not to respond. So you see, most of us listen and we're already formulating our ideas. We're reformulating our responses. But you learn to listen to understand. I ask the question, what are you working on that you're excited about? That question opened more doors than my elevator speech. Because your elevator speech is about you. Asking what you're excited about is about the other person. So learning to listen with understanding is critical, because most of us listen with an agenda. We listen to find out what's the outcome and how is it going to benefit me. So be curious, ask good questions. Make sure that you're paying attention to what matters to the other person. And finally, celebrate other people. And don't just celebrate them. Celebrate them loudly. Celebrate them publicly. Celebrate their wins. Because when you celebrate other people, you're making them feel good. So here's the thing. Insecure leaders, they want to keep the spotlight all to themselves. Strong, secure leaders, they share the spotlight. They don't mind sharing because they know there's enough to go around. People remember who cheered for them when they were down. People remember that. People remember people who have been in their corners. So when you think about those people that are in your community, celebrate them. Celebrate them publicly, privately, and celebrate them with a vigor that comes with that excitement. So absolutely, entrepreneurship is about grit and vision. Absolutely. But what about relationships, partnerships? They're the difference between building for a season and building for a lifetime. So here I am, 20 years after that $1 million moment, out of that basement. And I'm not back. I'm really back. I am back, baby. But I'm better. I'm wiser. I'm grounded. I'm whole. I'm complete. And $1 million does not make you complete. It does not. So I've learned that you can lose everything, everything, and you can still find your power again. You can absolutely find your power again. Starting over doesn't make you weak. It makes you real, right? And now when I help clients step into leadership or help teams learn how to communicate better, I do it from a place of humility and joy. And that lesson started in that basement. It wasn't the $1 million moment. It was when I lost everything and made the choice to rebuild. So I'm here to tell you that if you're in a hard season, if you're rebuilding, if you go home at night from places like this and you cry and you drop on your knees and you pray and you ask yourself, why am I here? Can I do this? And the answer is yes. I'm here to tell you, you can do it. And you don't have to do it alone. I am here to walk with you on that journey. My name is Carla Harris, and I am the CEO of the People Institute. And we help people be better people. Thank you for having me.